Alright then, welcome back to Mittenra. Time to review another couple of weeks of work, such as it is. I know we've been at the tree before, and I did kind of sign off on it, but I've done some tweaking. It's not gone brilliantly. As you can see, it's kind of okay. Perhaps not the best color choices. I'm really not sure what I could use. I've pretty much looked at every brown block that there is. But yeah, it's not all the way around, because I just couldn't settle on it. I never got to doing it on the other side. But while I was here, I just remembered to, you know, he has gotten all the way up here after being spawned all the way down there. I put down like 7 here and maybe a couple here, and some of them have found their way all the way around. Is that a wolf or a another fox? Oh, it's another fox. Yeah, so they've been very adventurous. I've never actually seen a mob be quite so adventurous. Very strange. So anyway, I put these stairs in. So yeah, it's just a stairwell. Eventually provides access to the top of the tree. You're supposed to possibly access it via this from inside the leg. I'm not actually sure if this opens. Can you actually get in here? Okay, here you go. Not sure how you're supposed to get down. Is there a stairwell? Oh, there we go. But moving on from this fairly well polished mess, never really settled on what this was all supposed to be about either. Ugh. Definitely been one of the biggest headaches of all of the building that I've done. And then finally decided to fit it in the mining facility. I think I mentioned it in the last review, and got around to putting it up. Okay, this is access to the mine shaft, and this one takes you around to the house. So yeah, just a small little thing. I did think about opening up the water, because there's actually yeah, there's a couple of neighbouring puddles. I can maybe get through to the main river. Just decided it wasn't really necessary. I did like the way that it turned out to be quite nicely hidden. I was a bit concerned I was going to have to open up a lot more and it would just be very exposed, but you can actually ride by it and not notice it. So I did a little more work on the dungeon. I put a few more rooms in. I think all of the rooms are now in place, and it's more of a maze-like structure to it, or a labyrinth-like structure to it. But that essentially ends any real work in this area. It's all done, I think. So I came back over to here and continued working on the interiors of the cathedrals. Now these aren't intended to be complete rebuilds of the interior. Some of the cathedrals have double walls, so I could do it and not ruin the outside, but some of them are only single walled. So I think I mentioned, I've seen all of this last time. I mentioned that this is essentially supposed to represent sky. It's the best I can do without, I don't know, going all glass on it. Maybe that would have been an option. It's actually a lot darker in here than I was thinking. I don't know if that's maybe in the computer screen, perhaps. Everything seems darker. Very strange. I think that may have been a placeholder for the blocks rather than a plan to convert this. But it might be the case because most of them have been a little... This is fairly extensive, fairly open, so I'm not necessarily inclined to do more. It definitely won't come all the way down here, so there is that side of it. Not intended to either. So the water's a lot more extensive because the cathedral itself is slightly shorter. I tried converting these. This one is actually it was originally oak and spruce. Anyway, yeah, the oak and spruce been replaced with the spruce and the darkwood. And then beforehand I tried this complete conversion into something more resembling the theme of the cathedral. And obviously this floor got reworked, but no intention of redoing the pillars. Which leaves this area as the most heavily altered. It has been tempting to go all the way up to this level, but I have been looking for a way to sort of kill off the transition essentially and just stop it. I'm not really sure it's working out that well. But yeah, it took a while, and at the last moment I remembered I could do this with glass panes, so I went through and removed all of the glass blocks, and that does seem to have helped with the bulkiness. But yeah, it kind of came together. I don't think it's ideal, considering it's supposed to be the water temple, but there are no white, there are no blue steps or slabs, so there's really not much I can do in that respect. I tried to use the white to kind of be a foam, sea foam effect. Yeah, so this, I think this has probably been seen in the review already. And again, this is as far as it's going to come. The rest of the cathedral will be stone, remain stone. So I think we'll go look at the fire next. This came out a lot better than I was expecting it to, maybe. Especially for the fight that it was. I had to put a lot of work into blocks and swapping blocks, trying various combinations up until the last moments. The upper bit here, these blocks were actually sandstone. I swapped them out for the glazed and the raw gold block. And it helped make it look a lot more fiery. And at the moment on my screen with the darkened look, yeah, it's a lot more fiery. It's yeah, I'm I'm quite pleased with this one in the end. I was a little concerned, but you know, I think it's come together very well. The only thing I think I've got left to do here is I would like to extend the floor pattern on the outside so that it comes all the way down to where this ends, essentially. Yeah, and then just the Earth Cathedral. And they're not really supposed to be that themed on the elementals. It's just like a residue of something the Grey Knights used to be into, perhaps, rather than an actual active component of their belief system. So these turned out better than I was expecting as well, because of obviously the fact that they needed to be green. I wasn't really sure about some of it I wanted to incorporate. I don't know, the prismarine just doesn't really lend itself very well to this thing, aside from the fact that it changes to blue periodically. Worked in the whole fruit idea because this is more like life than the earth itself, the elemental element of earth. They look very Christmassy, to be honest. Not really a problem, but it's just an observation. And yeah, again, you know, obviously it only comes so far as in planned. And then there's this. I need to get rid of some of these vines, don't I? Those aren't shears. Wow, I thought they were shears. It's funny, I don't remember actually putting in the vines, but here they are. I feel like there should be something else in here besides just the boxes of flowers. Maybe the floor should be changed. I'm quite pleased with this though. It's very simple. It's literally built over the top of the pillars rather than replacing them, except in a few cases anyway. I just like the way that it came out. Mission accomplished. So this will probably continue to be something I tweak as the weeks go by. My main focus now is in the west. I'm going to do some work at Villel. Started by actually working on the road to Villel, tidying it up, swapping out the glowstone embedded into the path in exchange for actual roadside lighting. Looks like I maybe missed one, or I stopped. But there we go. That is what I've been up to. And ran that review well over time. I'm going to have to do some editing, so I have no idea what's going to be lost. Hopefully nothing important. Just me rambling. And yeah,